Finally, some good news for once. Aussies could all of a sudden receive huge amounts of tax savings. This is going to be one of the most important budgets ever, and the government are starting to hint that there is going to be some major tax cuts. But of course, like any tax scheme, some people will benefit more than others. Alright, let's get into it. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has all but confirmed more tax cuts will be included in next Tuesday's budget as the country battles its first recession in 30 years. More tax cuts? Yes, please. He said, "We're delivering lower taxes for businesses and individuals. Australians are already benefiting from tax cuts made in the last two budgets," Morrison said while speaking at the National Press Club on Thursday. So that's right, I have been enjoying getting my $1,080 for the past 2 years in my tax return, but I'd definitely like lower taxes. The coalition in 2019 locked in 3 stages of income tax cuts. The first round last year delivered an average income earners tax offsets of $1,080, and I got that. It was pretty good. It did help out around tax time, to pay some bills or pay roadshow. It was awesome. The second stage, which was scheduled for July 2020, will see the 19% tax threshold jump from $41,000 to $45,000, and it will see the 32.5% threshold jump from $90,000 to $120,000. But hey, if they keep printing money like this, it may not be a difference, earning $120,000 if inflation gets out of control. And the biggest tax cuts that are going to happen on what they're planning are, the third stage, due to come in place from July 2024, will see the 32.5% tax threshold increase to include those earning as much as $200,000. So there we go. Those people, before that you're earning $180,000, they were getting taxed, 45% after $180,000. They're now only going to pay 32%, and it is good for those, because at my job, I was really motivated to try to get ahead. I wanted to work hard, and I'd do overtime. But then when I do overtime to get ahead, the government's like, hey, you're trying to get ahead, you're trying to work hard, we're going to tax you more. And same with a lot of people, they didn't want to do overtime or work harder or get a second job because they don't have to pay more tax, which, it punishes those that are trying to work hard to get ahead. So I do think it's good to incentivize people to work more, and then they'll have more disposable income to spend in the economy. Morrison said efforts to stimulate the economy through the manufacturing sector will only fall short if taxes are too high. That is why correcting all those things is important, he said. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg has also been hinting that budget will see tax cuts brought forward, saying in early September the government is considering the timing of tax cuts with announcements to be made in the budget. So I'm really looking forward to the budget announced next week. I can't wait. I definitely want some tax cuts. It'll really help me out. I know it really will help out a lot of Australians that are struggling right now. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg said it is fair to say these are very substantial reforms to our tax system. Bringing the 2022 cuts forward would cost $12.35 billion, according to the Deloitte Access economist analysis. Those earning $90,000 would receive an extra $1,219 back compared to 2017 to 2018, while those earning $120,000 or more would see an extra $2,565. So of course, these tax systems are going to affect those more that are earning higher income, and they're going to see more tax cut savings in dollar terms, but percentage wise, it's not really much of a difference. But of course, critics are blasting the tax cut plans. However, the tax cuts are not universally supported, with former Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Bernie Fraser blasting them as ill-considered. I love how they use these words in the mainstream media, to really hype it up and create tension. They're blasting him. He said, "The pandemic is a stark reminder to all policymakers of the two fundamental truths, that while many of us work and spend in economies, we all live and die in communities. And secondly, the most vulnerable groups in those communities are always hit the hardest in the major crises like this pandemic," Fraser said as part of a campaign organised by the Australian Institute to prevent the cuts in September. So what do you think? Do you agree with this? The Australian Institute analysis found that the stimulatory effects of bringing forward the tax cuts would be minor, and that the cuts will instead increase inequality. And I do kind of agree here that those at the upper end of the income scheme are definitely going to see more savings than those at the lower end. But then again, also those people at the lower end, now they can do overtime and they won't get punished as hard. So it's kind of, a double whammy there. The policy fails both in terms of fairness and efficiency. We need a far more progressive income tax, and one based strictly on individual incomes, added University of Sydney Law School professor Patricia Apps. The Australian Council of Social Services has also called for tax cuts to be foregone in favour of an increase to job seeker payments. This triggers me a bit. I'm a bit triggered. They want to increase job seeker when it's already $800 a fortnight. That means people aren't going to want to work, and then that means those that are working are going to have to pay more tax to provide money for those on job seeker. You know, this is just, you know, these lefties, you know, I don't want to get political here. They just want to give free money. They want socialism, and they just want, oh, I'm speechless, guys. This has really hit a spot with me. They just want to give, you know, all this money. They just want everyone to have money doing nothing. But guess what? This is why depression is so high, because what makes you happy is working hard, achieving something. If you're at home doing nothing, getting paid money, yeah, it's good, but you're going to be miserable. What makes you happy is working hard, achieving something, overcoming adversity. Sorry to go on a bit of a rant here, guys, but this triggers me. Oh, bloody hell. The plan comes as Australian savings rate hit record highs, with IBIS researching showing the household savings rate has jumped from 2.7% to 7.9%. And that's right, you know, people locked up, they can't go out and spend money. Of course, savings going to increase, and this is something good. I do think people should be paying off debt and saving more money and finally put themselves in a stable financial position instead of living paycheck to paycheck. According to IBIS World, senior analysis reads, said it would take at least 3 years for this rate to fall. So they want this rate to fall. They don't want people to save money. They don't want people to pay off debt. This economy relies on people taking on debt and spending every money they have. This is shocking, and this is what really annoys me with the mainstream media, and this is why people are in such bad financial positions, because they're all bombarding you, spend money, saving is bad, spend, take on more debt. If you can't afford it, put on your credit card and afterpay, and this really grinds my gears. Former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd described this as a cause for concern, but the Reserve Bank of Australia and AMP senior economist Deanna Musina, I don't know how to pronounce the name, guys, I'm not going to pretend like I do, believe the higher savings rate could be a benefit as Australians are weaned off income support measures like JobSeeker and JobKeeper. And they're right there, it could be a benefit because then people won't be living paycheck to paycheck, they will save, and then when things, you know, do fully reopen, they'll have more money to spend, and we can rebuild from a more stable foundation instead of building off debt. Responding to questioning on whether Australians will simply pocket any tax cuts rather than injecting it into the economy, Morrison said he won't tell Australians what to do with their money. And hey, if you're struggling, definitely you shouldn't go out there and spend it. Obviously the government wants you to go out there and spend it, but you need to do what's best for you and your family and your personal circumstance. He said, when you're talking about income tax cuts, they're just getting to keep more of what they earned, he said. And yeah, I'm all for that. So he said he's not going to tell Australians how to spend their money, and the government shouldn't have any business on telling Australians what to do with their money. And the budget that we've all been waiting for, this is going to be one of the most entertaining budgets. I'm definitely eager to see what they're going to do, because this really needs to be on point. This could be the make or break what will save the economy or what will put us into a prolonged recession or depression. And that's going to be announced on Tuesday next week. I'll try and, you know, bring out the latest information as fast as I can. And we'll have to see. Hopefully, you know, there'll be some support for, you know, there's people that are struggling, and hopefully they don't just throw more money at big businesses or zombie companies like they have been. So what do you guys think the government should do? Where should the money be spent? Should there be tax cuts, or should they increase tax? Should they not do these tax cuts, and should they put it in other parts of the economy where people really need it? Or are those parts of the economy already getting enough support? And for all my loyal viewers and subscribers still watching, you're awesome. Sorry for getting a bit triggered and a little bit political there, but really it had to be said. So if you haven't already, smash the like button for the whole YouTube algorithm. I love you all. If you haven't already, subscribe, and of course, I'll see you in the next